Welcome to the first ever DVD edition of Total Film. I'm Matt Mueller, editor of the magazine, and you're watching our special preview of a terrific year in film. So why do a DVD edition now? Simple, really. 2005 is shaping up to be one of the most exciting years in movie history, and we wanted to commemorate it. Don't believe us? What would you call a year that boasts the long-awaited return of Batman, has Peter Jackson's next film King Kong swing into cinemas, and sees Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg team up for War of the Worlds? And let's not forget a certain space adventure that started 3 decades ago finally concluded in a little movie called Revenge of the Sith. And they're just the tip of the movie iceberg. 2005 is going to be a great year. With trailers, news, interviews, and competitions, this disc is a sneak peek at the best of what's coming up. We're pretty excited by what's heading our way in the next few months, and after checking out the rest of this DVD, we're sure you will be too. I'd like to hand you over at this point to Steph West, our Total Film DVD correspondent, who's on hand to guide you through this special edition. We hope you enjoy it.
Sci-fi fans are in for a treat this year. Another round of Star Wars would have been enough for most, but 2005 is awash with aliens and interplanetary craft. Spielberg's epic War of the Worlds is heading up a galactic pack of movies chasing after Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Also in hot pursuit, time travel safari, A Sound of Thunder. And finally, we get a movie ticket to see The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Our spaceship just landed. Fact or fantasy, take your pick this year. Russell Crowe and Orlando Bloom both play figures that really existed, and Johnny Depp doesn't. Don't be deceived by the title. In Cinderella Man, Crowe plays a boxer who has to fight his way out of the Great Depression and poverty. Orlando Bloom plays a blacksmith who has to fight his way into the Great Crusades in Kingdom of Heaven. But back to fantasy and a great sugar rush, Johnny Depp is open for business in his chocolate factory. And finally, Ben Stiller's a talking lion in Madagascar. If it's adrenaline you want, there are shots to be had in this year's crop of action-adventure movies. Batman begins again with Christian Bale, burning rubber with some serious co-stars, including Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine. And Brad Pitt is literally married to his work in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, a tale about loved-up assassins hired to kill one another. There's international intrigue in The Interpreter, and, rolling off the tongue, XXX 2.
There are 5 mini competitions scattered across the DVD. If you think you know the answer to any of them, then just text your answers for your chance to win. Which knight originally played Obi-Wan Kenobi? Alec Guinness, Ian McKellen, or Laurence Olivier?
Could 3 be a magic number this year? A third X-Men movie is going ahead, even though director Bryan Singer has jumped ship to make Superman. X-Men 3 will start filming in Vancouver this year, and the new writer, Simon Kinberg, is promising it'll be the best of the trilogy. He says it could even be their Return of the King. So that leaves Bryan Singer concentrating on just one hero. But who is Superman? No, really, who? It's a virtual unknown, 25-year-old Brandon Routh. But then remember, nobody had heard of Christopher Reeve before he donned the tights in 1978. And Mission Impossible 3 is finally looking possible for Tom Cruise. He's put it back a couple of times, first for Collateral and then War of the Worlds, but now his schedule is clear. J.J. Abrams will direct, so that means watch out for Ricky Gervais. Abrams, who created the TV show Alias, is a huge fan of The Office. He's already put Ricky in Alias, and now he's going to put him in MI3. As Steven Spielberg wraps up War of the Worlds, what next for him? Everybody thought it would be a movie about the 1972 terror attack on the Munich Olympics, but it seems he's going presidential with a biopic about Abraham Lincoln, and Liam Neeson has been sounded out to play the president. All of this, of course, means that Indiana Jones 4 could be a way off. In case you're missing him, Lord of the Rings director Peter Jackson is still slaving away on King Kong in New Zealand, but he does have an eye on the horizon. He's bought the rights to make a movie of The Lovely Bones, Alice Sebold's novel about loss and heaven, and expect that film to be with us by 2007.
Who plays Jason Bourne in The Bourne Supremacy? Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, or Brad Pitt?
And here's Total Film's pick of the films to watch out for this month. Bulletboy, a gritty look at Britain's gun culture, starring So Solid Crew rapper Asher D making his movie debut as a crook out on parole. The Amityville Horror. Now, horror remakes are in right now, but none are as eagerly awaited as this one. Ryan Reynolds and Melissa George are the house hunters who get more than negative equity when they buy this demonic mansion. The Ring 2. Naomi Watts rewinds another investigation into the killer videotape. But this time Hideo Nakata, director of the original Japanese Chiller, is behind the camera. Be Cool. John Travolta and Uma Thurman headline this Get Shorty sequel, where Chili Palmer moves from the movie industry to the music biz. Mean Creek. Described as Blair Witch meets Stand By Me, where a plan to take revenge on a school bully goes horribly wrong in the woods. Sin City. Robert Rodriguez directs a starry cast in this nasty and brutal adaptation of Frank Miller's classic comic. Both Miller and Quentin Tarantino direct segments, and it's being billed as the Pulp Fiction of comic movies. The League of Gentlemen's Apocalypse. Be afraid, be very afraid, because the boys from Royston Vasey are unleashed on the wide world when their weird little town comes under threat. Not to be confused with the rubbish Sean Connery effort. The Assassination of Richard Nixon. Sean Penn plays a wannabe assassin in this drama about what happens when an ordinary man needs somebody to blame for his broken life.
What's the name of Batman's butler? James, Alfred, or Bruce? Where do the invading aliens in War of the Worlds come from? The Moon, Venus, or Mars?
DVD sales are rocketing, with studios issuing bigger and better box sets and special editions every year. Here's Total Film's definitive list of those shiny little discs that are heading your way in 2005.
But is not a sentence closed.
What are you listening to?
Don't worry, son. We'll be with you next.
Round after round.
You are Anna.
The aquarium.
Do it again. I misunderstood.
Just try to be your normal human. No going to the dark side.
Okay.
The world is...
The amount of venom that can be delivered.
What film first teamed Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise? Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List, or Minority Report? What was Tom Cruise's film debut? Taps, Endless Love, or Risky Business? Which knight originally played Obi-Wan Kenobi? Alec Guinness, Ian McKellen, or Laurence Olivier? Who plays Jason Bourne in The Bourne Supremacy? Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, or Brad Pitt? What's the name of Batman's butler? James, Alfred, or Bruce? Where do the invading aliens in War of the Worlds come from? The Moon, Venus, or Mars? What film first teamed Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise? Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List, or Minority Report?